people. Welcome to an exciting episode of Fashion Wednesday with me, your fashionable host, Diana Edinam Kumbey. You know what to find, anything fashion that you need, I've got you covered. From designers to stylists to models to content creators, everybody, I've got you covered. And so today I have with me a very interesting young man. He's the owner of Boyedoe, the fashion brand Boyedoe, and he's called David Kusi Boye-Doe. Boyedoe is an Afro-luxurious fashion brand that is rooted in sustainability. I know you don't understand anything I've said, but he's here. He's here and he's going to explain exactly what he means by Afro-luxurious and what sustainability means to him, to his brand, especially here in Ghana. We're going to have an insightful, educative conversation. I promise you, you don't want to miss this. Hi.
Hi.
So I did a good job introducing your brand.
You did a great job.
Yeah. But when did you decide to enter into fashion? Have you always been that person who was going to design outfits, who was going to do all of those things?
Yeah, I think I've always loved how to dress. It started as a young guy. I think I was spending all my money on clothes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was just wearing. I used to love suits a lot. I was just wearing, whatever I find myself, any program. I just want to look good.
Yes.
But initially, I wanted to be an architect. It's all in designing. I wanted to be an architect, but things didn't go the way. So and being fashion design is like a twin profession of architect. So that's how I entered into. So I actually started as a stylist.
I was going to ask, because if you're putting outfits together for yourself, I was going to say, wait, did you start?
So I started, dressing myself. Then people were like, "Oh, you look good. I like what you're wearing." So then it motivated me to start, So I would say I started as a buyer because I used to shop for people.
Okay.
I buy clothes for people. Then from buying as a buyer to stylist, then it wasn't enough because it got to a point where you needed clothes for people, and our traditional tailors would disappoint you.
Of course.
And the stress that come with it was like got me angry. So one day I was just there, it's like, what am I waiting for? Why don't I go and learn this thing? So it was through that and in search of the schools in Ghana that I ended up at Joyce Abapio.
Yes, I was snooping around and I saw. You know what? I saw what you call this? It's a number of awards that he has stacked over here, right in his home studio. It's not easy. Okay, you won a number of awards there.
Yeah, that was 2019.
2019.
I went there. It was a 1 year certificate in fashion, so I came 2018, and I graduated as the most outstanding student and the most creative student. So. Yeah, that was it.
I mean, I'm not surprised because I'm looking around and I'm seeing amazing designs that I am taking away with me from here.
If you only you have the car and everything to put it in.
Say no more. Say no more. We have ride-hailing apps. I will just call for one and I'm gone. But you describe your brand as Afro-luxurious. That's the first thing that stood out for me when I saw the brief about your brand. What does that mean to you?
It's basically African luxury. Luxury to me is relative. We talk about luxury brands all over the world, but to me, there's an African side of luxury, and luxury is a good idea, a good story, a good culture. So we have an amazing story in Africa, especially in Ghana. We have rich textiles and we have, colorful culture. And what was the way to be able to amplify this thing? And as building a brand that, aim to be a global stage, but not forgetting the African element, Africa tapestry. That's where Afro-luxury came in. So that is African luxury.
Okay.
So the brand is about blending African luxury with ethical elegance. Ethical means, being conscious, not just, designing, not just stitching pieces, not just creating pieces. You have to create pieces that will last, pieces that people can revisit it. If you look at the things that I do, I wanted to create pieces that when you see it in someone's wardrobe, the person can repeat it over and over again, not a one-time piece. I'm not really a one-time piece because I know the thing that comes to designing. When you are designing, you have to look at continuity.
Yeah.
You see, if you have this in your wardrobe, then can you leave it to your children's children? To me, that is luxury.
Yeah. Okay.
Where you can have something precious that you can pass it on to the next generation. So that is why
it's beautiful.
African luxury.
That's beautiful. You were speaking about ethicality. Is that why sustainability is important to you?
Yes, it's easy. If you've done a delve research on the brand, you realize that we are deeply rooted in sustainable realities, because again, in Ghana has become like a hub where a lot of second-hand clothes end up when you go to our beaches, and you realize that there's a whole lot of clothes heap upon it, and our brand as a way of combating this issue was through recycling.
Okay.
And recycle is embedded in sustainability, and it's much more. When we talk about sustainability, it's not just recycling. That's where it goes on to the choice of fabric you are using, the people that you are involved. So if you see some of our pieces, you realize that we work with jeans a lot, and also fugu from the north.
Right.
And that is, you have local artisans of women in the north that weave these pieces. So it's like adding, bringing society together. That is to be us being ethical and making sure that they are well paid, they are well fed. So it's not just recycling.
Yeah.
The people who are making the clothes, how comfortable they in, and how can we, reduce unemployment as a brand. So that is what ethical is.
I'm so proud. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm just so proud. Because I love the fact that we are being conscious of all of these things. I think recently I've seen a number of people talk about sustainability, especially in the fashion space. You mentioned that some of when you go to the beaches, clothes are lying there. I think Cantamanto. That's where they just come and dump all. Yes. It's really important, and I love that you are taking that into consideration. But you have the Sankofa bed as one of the main influences for your brand.
Yes.
What does that? What does that even? Where did that come from? Why did you decide to choose that?
Sankofa, because I'm not being ethnically or something, but I'm from Ashanti region.
Okay.
And Sankofa to us is like, revisiting, the olden, because you see, I always tell people that in order to forge the future, you have to look at the past to be able to forge the right future, because if you don't read from history, history will repeat itself. So building a brand that I want to be able to champion and become like a symbol from Africa, then what can we do? We have to go back and pick something that can resonate with the vision of the brand. So that's what Sankofa came in.
Okay.
So revisiting the past in order to forge the future.
That's nice. Yeah, in your brand, the brand brief, you speak about deconstructing and reconstructing. It's part of the themes around your brand. What does that mean?
Deconstruction to us is actually something I love dearly, because I would say all my life so I think Africa, when we talk about sustainability in general, it didn't just came on the scene. Maybe in the West it came on the scene, but in Africa you realize that if you were not born into a rich home, you realize that clothes are apart from your elderly sister or brother to you. That is sustainability.
Yes.
So that is so to us. Okay, so if I pick a cloth that my elder brother wore and is now passed on to me, okay, to be able to be creative, what can I do to that clothes to make it it's the old piece but a touch of something.
Yes.
So I can deconstruct, like unpick the whole pieces, then add something to it. So that is all deconstruction and reconstruction. So like dismantle the old piece, the one that has been thrown away, then use it for something else. Like the sofa.
I was literally about to say this.
Exactly.
I was literally about to say this. So I see the jeans. Where do you get these from? Is it that you took them from like old jeans that were in
the famous
So you just went and bought different
Yeah, but
jeans.
different. I have
and then you
loads
put-
of them because when I go, when I see, I buy them. I have
Okay.
like a full storage like that. I have a lot.
Amazing.
So you just imagine a trouser now transformed to
Yes,
sofa.
yes.
So,
Do you have a line of clothes that is just focused on jeans?
yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I think our first collection, when you look at our first major collection, not really, that was not the first collection, but the first major collection,
Okay.
the theme was denim.
Denim.
Denim is like
Being
ever
front.
forward.
Okay.
You see, so denim like being in front,
Okay.
keep leading. So,
Okay.
but you know, it is to us, it's more about storytelling. Denim in Ghana, people know it, but when you look it from the outside, it's spelled as denim. So to us,
Oh my God.
that's a play. That's a play of words.
Oh
that's
my God.
telling stories that the West can associate themselves with. And so, you know, back home is something that resonates and everybody understands it. So
yes.
we want to take the lead of this sustainability. We want to take the lead of reducing waste. And if you realize that collection was based on, you know, recycling of denim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think is the the future of fashion in Africa and Ghana, if we are being a little specific? Do you think we're doing amazing stuff? Do you think we are getting the recognition? You designers, do you think you are getting the recognition you actually deserve?
I would say the future of African fashion, especially Ghana fashion, is very, very bright because we have a lot of young, talented people.
Like you.
You know, someone can say that to me, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're being humble. It's fine.
Yeah, but we have an amazing brand, you know, in the like of, you know, Christy Brown doing an amazing, you know, there are a lot of brands I can mention. My brother Jabin is doing an amazing, a lot of brands. Let's do Abasewa.
Right,
You know,
right.
a whole lot of brands doing an amazing thing. So for talent wise,
We have it.
we have it.
Yes.
But I think what we need as a country, let's say, if you compare Ghana fashion to Nigerian fashion, you realize that there's a lot of, you know, investors in the Nigerian fashion scene, you know, that push them, take them outside. But we don't have that investors here. And I don't think they are not here. They are here. It might be we have not come together to be able to find this investor because I'm sure there are a few people that are, you know, have investors that they are working with, and I'm sure doing so. But generally, I think the future of African fashion, especially Ghana fashion, is very, very bright. But we need those kind of investors, those kind of support.
When you say
financially.
investors, okay, so is it just about the support financially? So somebody should, I don't know, come be a part of your brand. Let's take your brand, for example. They should come and I don't.
Okay, so when I talk about investing, for
Yes.
instance, how did, let's say, Boyedoe actually starts? You know, when I finished fashion school, JCCD, I saw a competition in Nigeria, Arise 30 and the 30 News. So that was it because the brand started in 2020 January, and right before was COVID.
Yes.
So we were stuck home and nothing was moving. So the Arise News, Arise is like a big, you know, news outlet in Nigeria that came together and said, okay, we want to support young designers from Africa. So they put a competition, you know, to help young designers. So they name it Arise 30 and the 30 New Stars.
Okay.
So we apply, and I think in Ghana was myself and a Jabin that got in.
Okay.
And they gave everybody that got in, all the 30 designers, they gave everybody $5,000.
Oh wow.
You see.
Okay.
So
okay.
the moment we came back, we had funds to be able to start something. So
That's true.
you know, if such things are not there to be able to encourage people, and I think Ghana we do have some. We have Accra More Future Fund working on, and I think Vlisco is also doing it. So we need to get more
people. Okay.
Because you see, no matter the talent you have, if you don't have the fund to you can't, because you need to buy fabric to create a collection. You need to get models, pay them, shoot photographers. That's a lot of money.
It is.
And you have to do this like 2 or 3 times before you can be noticed. You see, because if you start by waiting for a walk-in client, because some people build their brand in a way like, okay, they
You
are
come in.
on the road and
Yeah.
people just walk in. Our brand is not like that.
Yes.
So that's why our production house is kind of far away from where showroom
Yeah.
is. One of the challenges I would say is money. The money because, because we don't have the financial muscle to be able to place orders in quantity. Let's say the woven fabric that we use. So we buy the thread, weave them. So because you don't have the financial muscle to place the thread in a bigger quantity, so you finish the collection, somebody need this collection, let's say 50 pieces. You go back and you can't find a thread.
Yes.
You see, then now the color will change. What are you going to tell the person? So you've lost a client right there. You see. And also, so this money can PR, because if you want to get yourself out there, you need to get PR.
Yeah.
Money comes in. You need to get a good photographer to shoot, a good model to shoot. All boils down to money. When the money part is handled, that's the biggest part.
Yeah.
The designing now to me is very easy.
The talent is just
It's just
yeah. You just have it.
It's easy because design is easy, but
Right.
to scale up, how to get the things out there, and that is the most important thing. So,
What would you say other designers should do to incorporate sustainability practices into their production?
okay, I think what I would say is their choice of fabric, because when you talk about sustainability, your choice of fabric is also very, very important.
So which fabric isn't sustainable? So, I've been playing with it in my mind, because I know that you made mention of some fabrics like the is it the smoke?
Yeah.
So you said those ones are sustainable. So which ones aren't?
Every fabric is a business. I'm not sure I'm in the right place to condemn someone's business.
Okay.
Yeah, but to me, if I'm picking, I think that if I can reframe the question very well, I will say that I will encourage young designers to, pick a fabric that will give them identity.
Okay.
Where are you from? You are from Ghana, right?
Okay.
You are a Ghanaian. You are from Africa. So, even if you want to, let's say you want to buy lycra and use lycra as what is that element in it that someone will see and know that this is an African brand? This is a brand that is born from Africa.
Do Africans need to always represent Africa?
So when I say in Africa, I'm not saying, you see, when you talk about African fabric, a lot of people cast their mind on print.
No, I'm just, okay.
You see, which I don't really cast my mind on print, because I have worked with, I've had an opportunity to work with Visco. Visco has been a major part of my fashion success, and I will not say that print is not good. Print is amazing because the motifs in it represent Africa. But when we talk about the authentic African fabric, when we are talking about something that is made from here.
Okay.
Not something that is made somewhere and
then brought
here. That is not, to me, that's not I'm talking about something that when you go to Volta region, there are fabric that Voltarians do. When you go to northern region, there are, local fabric that we can see. This tie and dye started from here. You see, so even if it's lycra, for instance, what can you add to it to make it? Because it's very, very important that in as much as you don't want to be seen as Africa. I do couple of shows outside and people see the piece, you tell them it's made in Ghana and they don't believe.
Okay.
You see, so it's not to build a brand that when somebody sees it, it's just showing Africa, but there has to be something. This smoke, if you check the colors that we use, you realize that smoke and kente is the same, but the one that we are known for is the one that is very colorful, like these ones.
Okay.
So when I first created a collection, it was this colorful one, but I realized that it didn't move the way it was supposed to move. Then I learned something. When I got the opportunity to travel, I now look at what color of fabric do they wear. I realized that they like to wear one color, like staple colors, one solid color.
They wear brown.
So brown.
Yes.
So that's why you see if it's black. So this one, if you don't come close, you wouldn't know this is an African fabric, but this is an African fabric because it's all black and they wear it. You see, so the one that is the African touch is not losing your identity.
Okay.
But have something to represent where you are from, because every opportunity that comes, they are selecting. Okay, we want people from Ghana, we want people from Nigeria, we want people from Sweden. Like there's always like something attached to it. Because as a brand, we go outside, they are mentioning your name. They mention Ghana. They mention Boyedoe. They mention Ghana.
Yeah.
You see, so you don't want to lose that identity. When you are now starting, most of the time, when you are now starting as a young designer, you want to be wow. You want, it's something that you need to do to be able to get a notice. But when you finish that, you realize like you need to design for real people. So you're designing. You need to have a clientele in mind. I tell people that the designer is different from an artist. An artist can create something from their within, something that they like. But you, the designer, have a clientele in mind. Right. Where is the person going? How will the person feel? These are some of the things that you are supposed to look at. So once you realize that the things that are needful for your client, then you do for them. So, okay, I want to be creative at the same time serve my client. What can I do to a normal silhouette, a pant silhouette? So I pick a normal pant, then I add something to it because that silhouette can never change. Everybody wear pants. So what can you do? Like a jacket. Let's see this jacket that you're wearing. It's very beautiful. The moment you see it, you see the black detail on the lapel, it draws attention. So the most important details in an outfit is something that you're supposed to pick and modify it, and that's it.
Okay. So last one for now. It's not like I'm letting you go.
Okay.
But yes, and what advice do you have for these up-and-coming designers who are so excited to enter the world and design for people?
Design for people. I will say they should find what I call POD, your point of difference. Okay. Because a lot of people are creative.
Yes.
What will make a good stylist or a celebrity or an everyday client drop a designer or a brand that they've been buying and come and buy from you? They need to see a point of difference, something new that they've not seen, something they don't own. So you need to get that point of difference, get it, but make sure that whatever you are designing will tie the nerve of the people who are going to buy. Because if I'm going to buy something, definitely I'm not going to buy something that's in my wardrobe. I'm definitely going to get something new. It might be, kind of the same, because in designing or in styling, you realize that a good stylist, let me pick this guy for an example, Steve Harvey.
Okay. Yes.
If you see Steve Harvey's style, it's the same cuts, his suit, but different colors.
Yes.
You see, so once you master, the classic style, then you can now introduce a new way of doing things. So master the classic style, then find something you can attach to the classic style that will draw someone's attention and speak with it.
Very, very, very nice. Very well spoken. Thank you so much. So we are going to do a quick fire. I don't know why I don't have fire extinguisher. I don't know why he's so apprehensive about this, but we'll do that. Okay. We'll do that quite shortly. So the young man was trying to run away from this from this very short interaction. I said I just want to give him quick 2 options. He selects one on the go, very quick, 10 questions, and he wants to run away. But God being so good, he's still here. So let's do this very quickly. Sure. So I'm going to give you 2 options. You select one that you prefer. It's just.
But if I don't have an answer,
you will have.
I will still have to.
You have to.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Are we ready?
But can I defend some in case?
No problem.
Okay, that's fine.
You dare explain. Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Classic black or vibrant colors?
Oh. For me, I'll go classic black. I'll pick classic before vibrant because I believe in classic style. So classic first. When you have enough classic, then I go for vibrant.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Vintage or futuristic?
Oh girl, I'll go vintage.
I knew it.
I'll go vintage.
Somebody that is deconstructing and reconstructing.
Because it's deconstructed from vintage.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Exactly. So vintage always.
Streetwear or couture?
Oh, I'm streetwear 247. I call it, the brand is more of elevated streetwear.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Elevated streetwear.
Okay. So bold accessories or minimalist jewelry?
Minimalist jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Because your outfits do the talking.
Exactly. Because
Nice.
I love to, announce one thing about our brand. One of our mission, we say that we want to create pieces that will herald your arrival and prolong your departure. So the pieces itself is supposed to leave a mark.
Yeah.
Accessory is fine, but a very cute accessory is always cool.
Okay. Monochrome or color blocking? I feel like I know the answer.
Answer for me.
Monochrome.
These answers I'm giving and where you.
I know it's very off.
Exactly. Everybody
But-
say, oh, but like I said before, you see this color block. There's very
Monochrome colors. Yeah.
colors that I always make an emphasis.
Okay. Oversized or fitted?
Oversized 247 because I really want to be free. I don't want things that's
tight
I
to your
want to be
body.
free. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Statement pieces or timeless basics?
Timeless basis.
Okay.
In my collection really have timeless, but at the same time in every collection I have a stand out piece that's supposed to be. But you look at it's a ready to wear brand, so it's supposed to create pieces that people can associate with.
Yeah. Okay. Layering or simplicity?
I'll go layering. I love layering. It's just a country doesn't really favor me. But
Why? Because of the heat?
Right?
Yeah.
But I love layering.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Style runway or red carpet? Would you style runway or you style someone for red carpet?
Definitely red carpet because runway I normally always do runway, but red carpet doesn't come more often, so I'll choose red carpet.
Okay. Leather. This question I know the answer. Please let me answer my own question. Leather or denim, please. And the answer is denim. All right. See, was that so hard? Was that so hard?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't so hard. So now I've got to give you something hard, small. Just very
hard.
small.
No
Very
problem.
small. Very small. So guys, he is about to style me for let's imagine that we are doing a high fashion shoot for a magazine. Let's say Vogue magazine. Yeah, so he's going to style me for the cover of Vogue magazine with his pieces. I cannot wait. Oh my God. Why wait? Please stand here. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what the look will be like. Yeah, so stay tuned. All right, so take us through my high fashion look for Vogue.
Yeah.
Vogue's cover.
I showed this one because of the versatility nature of denim and the timeless nature of denim. Vogue. When you see Vogue shoots, most of the time you realize that it's transitional. They are look that you can. Okay, this one works in 1990, can still work in 2023, can work in 2060. So denim has evolved over the years and it keeps evolving. So that's why I chose denim, and not just any denim. This is a Japanese denim, a very cotton and very firm. And see the cut of the pants.
Yes.
Like I said, I love a normal silhouette of pants, but as a designer, to be able to distinguish yourself is how you can incorporate your cut. What can you add to the traditional silhouette? That's why you see the curvy shape, with the hidden pockets where you can hide your anything inside it with a detail. If you see, you realize that this one is like made purposely for her.
Can you imagine?
Is the end.
But I say I'm living here with it, then you'll be looking at me.
For instance, the jacket is like I said, when one thing about styling is if the pant to me is well shaped tight, you need to get something at the top that will kind of speak on its own. That's why the oversized one came. So you see, her shoulder is somewhere here, but it's dropped to make give her that bossy kind of fit. It's oversized at the same time, very comfortable to move around with. So that is, and also you realize that the choice of thread is a beige that works perfectly with her skin tone. You see, so with every large detail, the button and everything is something that resonating. Can you give me like a 360? You see, and you don't forget that is the brand, little Boyedoe. Yeah. So this is proudly made in Ghana, made here in our studio.
Period.
Yeah.
Boyedoe to the world. Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for sticking and staying. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned something. If you didn't learn anything, you learned sustainability. And you learned about Sankofa. And you learned about Boyedoe, baby. Okay? Thank you so much for speaking to us and for talking to us about your brand, everything that it stands for, and for styling me in this piece that I am running out of here with. Whether you like it or yes. But guys, that's about it for today. You can find me on Instagram at diana.kumbey. Where can they find you?
Instagram Boyedoe_. Then right out behind it, I think we have our website at www.boyedoe.com. So
everywhere,
I think
Boyedoe.
Here in Ghana, you can also find Boyedoe pieces at the lots in cantonments.
Right.
Yeah, to buy. Thank you.
So everywhere, Boyedoe. Okay, guys, again, thank you so much for sticking and staying. Until same time next week. Bye.